Hello! Welcome to Strange Conversations. It is Saturday the 5th, I want to say. Yeah, it's March. Excuse me, I've been coughing a little bit. Hello, Star Cruiser. Hi, Sarah. Hello, Darkness Moon Forever. Welcome to see you all. Oh. Part. Hi, Cassie. Hey!
Okay, I'm gonna try something. I want to
Yeah,
make sure because I'm worried if I put can you still hear me?
yeah,
Okay, because I worried that it was covering the thing.
yeah. No, you sound great. Excuse me. I literally like broke into a coughing fit right
Yeah.
before I launched this thing. So stupid.
Are you drinking a Moscow Mule?
It's actually a tequila sunrise in a Moscow Mule cup.
Classy.
So, how are you?
I'm good. I just got off work and I'm in my jam, so we're having like a slumber party.
Heck yeah.
And yeah. hmm
I will definitely fall asleep in this shirt. You you gave me this shirt. This is from our friend Max.
That's Maximus Prime art.
Maximus Prime.
Like a
Yes.
third piece. It's pretty rad. Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. So I would love for you to tell us, who is Sarah Cooper? Because that's what everybody wants to know. That's why we're here.
Nobody wants to know that, but yeah. Hi. Okay, so I'm Sarah Cooper, and I am the founder of the American Snallygaster Museum here in Frederick, Maryland. And we are a museum that showcases all of the weird history of Maryland, like paranormal stuff, but we focus mainly on Snallygaster because that's our state cryptid. Um, so I collect all kinds of weird stuff, and I like to go to events and show off these, kind of strange books, artifacts, and if you look on my Instagram highlights and you see the Snallygaster art, I would say probably 90% of that is the result of me harassing people because there was not very much when I started. So I'm
every
pretty
time you every time you do, something good happens. So
right. Oh, people need to just like be down with being harassed by me because it's always good.
yeah, no, it's a good thing. It's a good
Yeah,
thing.
I
You
think
have the what is it, the Flintstones Snallygaster book? I think you
I
had that at Cryptid Bash.
yes, I have. Sorry, my hair is making me a real cuckoo right now because of
No,
the
you're good. Go for it. Do whatever you want.
I have the Gaster books, and I have a bunch of like weird, hard to find books and like first prints of artwork, like Jamie Snell's Snallygaster. I have like the original of that. It's cursed. It has broken at every event.
Really?
It has managed to fall down and break at every event since I got it. Excuse me. So I don't know if it's cursed or if it's like a good sign that like if that thing breaks, it's gonna be amazing all day because it's always a great time. But we never know. It injured somebody at the farmers market last summer.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, so maybe it's bad if it doesn't break, though. Yeah.
That's what I'm starting to think. I think we like have to break it every time. But
Okay.
so that piece is super cool, and I'm super into all this weird stuff, and I think it's exciting because all of the cryptid museums, not that there's that many, but all the ones that exist at this moment are founded and owned by men. So it's pretty exciting to be like the first woman to do this. I'm definitely like feeling pretty proud of myself for that.
You should. That's amazing. Like, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is like, you're doing something revolutionary. Like, you're the first woman to do this. And I think that's tremendous. So, hats off to you.
So it's me, it's Kenzie, Heather, Risa, like all the homies, and I feel like it's very much and Asher's also obviously popped in my. I'm tired. Um, it's like very much a like justice for Mary Hyre moment because I feel like she really got left out and didn't get enough credit for what she did with John Keel and with
Yeah.
on the Men in Black. Like she had face-to-face encounters. And I think she told one of them to kick rocks, and that just made
Yeah.
me. I've joked about putting on an all-female like cryptid fest called Higher Fest, like fire.
Ooh, I like that. Yes.
Like that's too much of a deep dive. Relax. I'm still gonna do it because I I just follow through with every dumb idea I have. You've been witness to every dumb idea I have that we follow through with. So
And they always turn out great. It's always wonderful stuff.
yes, absolutely. Everyone has a good time. Most people don't get injured.
Yeah. And the ones that do, I mean, statistically, somebody's going to get injured. So, I mean,
Yes. Um, I believe the last major injury was Danner smashed Matt in the face with a pie. But we
ooh.
didn't. Like that was at Braxy Bazaar. We thought it was like thawed out, and he just like clocked him, like frozen face.
Oh, it was okay. It was frozen. That's different.
Holy fr-
Okay.
And then like yeah, it was bad. He see there's Matt. It was frozen.
Matt, it was frozen.
It was
Damn.
a shot of like Danner like bam, like it was yeah. Policy that we need to have like an official pie check at any pie smashing.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
that's we learned
Da-
from our.
Danner's he's a strong boy. So I can just imagine.
It was
Yeah.
silent.
Yeah.
All right though.
Hello to everybody. In case you didn't know, I think most of you do. I'm hanging out with Sarah Cooper of the American Snallygaster Museum and the Manic Pixie Dream Ghouls. And as far as Sarah and I are concerned, other Sarah over here, queen of modern cryptozoology. I will die on this hill. I will fight anybody who doesn't agree with me, and you can all go to hell. But I feel very strongly about this. Kenzie.
Passion.
Oh,
You
no,
know,
what'd you say? Sorry, I talked over you.
I'm getting overly excited about things to the detriment of all our friends. And I'm
No, it's a wonderful thing. It's a
so
wonderful thing.
great.
Tell us about slugs and bugs. Kenzie mentioned it a few minutes ago, so I feel like it's a good time to bring it up.
So I believe the original slugs and bugs concept began when Kenzie and I, when it was just us doing Manic Pixie Dream Ghouls, and we were planning the Cryptid Olympics for Cryptid Bash. So we were going to do thoughtography because we had just done an episode on Ted Serios, and we were coming up with other games. And I think that was when I was like, we're going to play Slugs and Bugs. And we both just kept egging each other on because neither of us knew what the heck we were talking about. And I was like, okay, so one person is a slug and you have to cover yourself in oil and you have to slide around on the ground. And then the other people are bugs and they're blindfolded and they have salt taped to them here and they have to try to like get the salt on the slugs. So it was like this kind of motion. Um, and then when we were looking at houses to rent for CryptidCon, we found this house with like, which you guys ended up staying at with all marble floors.
Everywhere, yes.
Perfect. We're gonna play slug. Everyone's getting oiled up. Like we're gonna do it. You all let me down. I'm just gonna except for Max, because the time came. Nobody would put oil on themselves. Number one. Nobody would tie or tape salt to themselves. Number two. So then it became me and Max on our backs in the hallway, like doing this to try to get to the end of the hallway, and he beat me really bad.
I did it too, though. I remember because I was very tired.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You did. But Max was the king. Like he crushed it. I've never seen such power from a slug with no oil. So he made it all the way to the end of the hall. I believe there are little ears listening, so but I believe he saw a lot of heather. And that's all I'm gonna say.
CryptidCon was one of the best weekends of my year, our year, definitely, like unequivocally.
Yes. Wait, Matt says, well, Matt, you might not oil yourself up, but I bet Terry Tibbs will. So
He probably will. Once he finds out, Matt won't. He definitely will.
Yeah, if we tell him that Matt's like anti-oil, Terry's gonna show up like greasing.
Yeah, yeah.
What did I
Uh,
just into here?
You've jumped into a strange conversation. Ooh. Sarah and I were talking before we went live just to kind of swap notes and stuff, and we decided that I don't even know how we came up with this idea. The three of us were on speakerphone, you and I and Sarah over here, and like people being abducted by aliens, but there's oil dripping off of them because there's so much oil. Yeah.
I don't know why everything. I'm just gonna like really quick just wrap my new blanket here. I don't know why everything becomes oil. We do have this about to be launched on my store, Snallygaster Museum blanket.
Ooh.
Pretty awesome. We get all snuggly in it.
Is that going to be on your Etsy or is it now?
Be on my Etsy. Yes, we're very excited. This was our prototype to make sure that the print looked good and it was soft and everything, and it came out really nicely. So I'm very
Oh,
excited.
looks great. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be slugging and bugging in this thing.
It's going to be required. It's like a uniform. Hi,
100%.
Adam.
Hi, Adam. I just bought a bulk order of his books that I'll have at events. I'm very excited. And I made him sign all of them in his blood.
Nice. Definitely in the blood. Yeah.
Because it's for the kids. You know,
Yeah.
we can't have it not blood.
Yeah. No, definitely. Kids need blood for
Bleeding.
iron bleeding.
I'm too tired for blood.
Yeah. Sorry. You've been dealing with that already.
We were
Um,
because I've drawn hunks. The hunk poster was a big hit. Um, Although I will say Micah Hanks went on Astonishing Legends, one of my favorite podcasts. I lost my mind because he mentioned me, and I had a small heart attack because I was like, please don't tell Scott and Forrest, who I respect and who I've listened to for years, that I drew production was that very weird picture I drew of you. So I was like so nervous. I had to like stop for a minute. I was like, but he only talked about the Ingrid Cold Brew chapstick that I gave him. So I was like, I still can like make a good impression on these like super legit researchers.
your merchandise showing at CryptidCon was, I mean, second to none, honestly. Actually, I have. Hang on, give me just a sec. I usually try not to jump off here, but I actually have a couple things. I have some CryptidCon hand sanitizer.
Cute.
Yeah, and then this hat.
Yeah, with thick.
Yeah.
God bless. Yeah. She tried. I think that CryptidCon wasn't ready for what I put out because I had a lot of people come up and go, "What is this? Why?" And I couldn't explain it. It's my vision.
Why not, though? I mean, no one else was doing it.
I swear, though, next year everyone's going to be doing it, and then I'll cry. So we'll just see. Nobody do Thickfoot. Copyright.
No, everything you do is great, and that's why I was hoping to bring you on and talk to you tonight. Also, you're fun to talk to in general, but I would love to talk about the museum because everybody's excited about that. What is the American? Oh, what is? So like using these lame wired headphones.
Rationally angry if I pull a headphone out of my ear, like I flip out.
I feel
like, who did it? It's me every time.
That bastard.
What are you mad about? You did it to yourself. So the museum, we are overcoming some obstacles at this moment. So we're still virtual and event only for the time being, which is a huge bummer because it's been in the scheme of starting a museum, it's actually super fast. But for me, who moves at lightning speed, it's like super slow. So we're a little behind, but it's okay because things are like chugging along. It's just a lot of it right now is paperwork and things like that we have to attend to. So yeah, for the near future, we'll be event only, but we do bring some pretty amazing stuff to events, I think. So, and I'll have some new stuff that we're working on. So I'm pretty stoked for it. Yeah.
Very cool. How did the American Snallygaster Museum get started?
Like
how do you decide to start a museum? Like what does that look like?
So I've told this story on my podcast, but I'm going to do a short version. But essentially, like, during the first round of COVID, because I'm an ER nurse, so I was a little stressed. I was also very pregnant, so I was a lot stressed. And I had to find like an outlet because I couldn't go anywhere, like I couldn't see anybody. It was like working back, and I was really fixated on the Snallygaster because I had this print that, Ballyraven Folklore, she does those like diagrams. Oh my God, it was like, so I bought that
Amazing.
ever ago. And then I was just like super, like I would look at it and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And I started researching. And then, I went down a rabbit hole, obviously, and started collecting stuff. Um, and it just turned into this. Like at first it was like, oh, I'm going to just collect all of it. And then I was like, no, I'm starting a museum. Like I'm going to do something really cool. And because I love roadside attractions and weird museum, like stuff like that. So I was like, no, I'm doing one. I'm going to do it my way, like as difficult as possible. So that's what we're doing.
I love it.
Kind of cope with the stress of everything because otherwise I would have just been, super upset and cried, and there's no use in that. So, yeah.
I think that's amazing. This went from like for you being something you were interested in and you were kind of collecting stuff for, I'm going to open a museum. I'm literally going to take it to the max. Like that's incredible.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. Mothman 46 says she's adding an animatronic leg hound exhibit. It's true. True. It's
I was
gonna
hoping.
gonna be one you can interact with and everything. It'll be great.
I'm really excited about that.
Um, yeah, my Mississippi Lake Hound merch at Cryptid Bash went really fast. It was upsetting. Like that.
It kind of makes you question how you feel about humanity, right? When things like that happen.
Hi, Bookie Man.
Okay, man. Hey, Caleb. Good to
We
see
love
you, buddy.
his picture he did when he reviewed the Snallygaster book. He wrote my name on his forehead.
Yeah. He was
It
on
made my life.
he was on this show pretty recently, and I was like, "Hey, what picture do you want me to use for the like promo slide?" And he was like, "Use the Snallygaster one." And I was like, "The one where your forehead says Sarah Cooper?" And he's like, "Yeah, exactly."
This is the thing though, like last year we did henna tattoos that we foolishly left on all night. And we were all covered in the word beef for like weeks. Um, we're upping it this year because for Christmas I got Kenzie a stick and poke tattoo kit. So someone's gonna end up with my name on their forehead. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. Probably Caleb at the rate we're going.
Uh, Probably. I mean, I we had some interesting artwork on us. That's all I'm gonna say.
I remember I went back to work the next week and people were like, "What's on your arm?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna explain it to you." And I'd get like 2 minutes into the story and they were like, I
You're
don't
like,
know.
we're good, thank you. Yeah, that was a time because I didn't read the instructions at all because why would we? And you're supposed to leave that stuff on for 15 minutes. And we left it on for probably, I don't know, 10 hours. So it like soaked into our skin. And I think it made us all a little weird and crazy because we had written on us.
Yeah, we did. It was beef and like variants of beef. I had a little skull at one point, I think.
I think Tyler drew an entire, like my whole leg was like a mandala of goblin stuff. It was intense. Um,
Yeah.
Brand was called Beef. So the brand for Kenzie's stick and poke kit is called Worms or something. It was called something Worms, and I was losing my mind, and I had to like hold it in, like I couldn't tell her till I gave it to her, but I was just like, it was perfection.
That's a wild synchronicity.
Yeah,
Worms.
synchronicity. It was. You're right. There were a lot actually. Creepy.
Yeah.
Worm. That's what it was called. Called Wormhole. Very exciting.
The worms were another thing at Cryptid Bash that I thought was great because you'd be walking around just minding your business, being a person, and all of a sudden there's like anatomically correct rubber worm just laying in front of you. And I'd be like,
They're still in that hotel. I'm convinced there are still worms around. Um, so that was like this. Yeah, Kenzie's giving everyone tats. That was like a
hell yeah.
started as like a hyperfixation on our podcast, and I was like, guys, guys, let's give everybody worms. And I bought this like huge box and I didn't know it was like fishing lures. So they look really real. They feel slimy and real. And I was on the phone with Kenzie and Heather when I picked them up from like the Amazon locker and I was like crying in the parking lot. I was like, guys, I think they're real worms. I think I just bought dead worms. I can't bring them on a plane. But they were not real worms. So
They were very realistic. They
um,
were.
Cryptid Bash is the one put on by Moth Boys, and it will be in August in Morgantown, West Virginia. There is a Maryland beef worm. That's true, Adam. I've been hunting it for years.
Is there really?
No,
Oh,
I'm making it up, but I'm gonna make one now.
I
Imagine
would
like
have.
a worm made of beef.
I would have believed you.
Yeah,
I'm
we could.
very gullible. Just saying. Um, so I know permit issues and logistics and stuff, and the world's upside down right now. Do we have an idea when the museum might be a place we can go to?
I'm hoping by the end of the summer, like hoping maybe sooner, but I until I have because a lot of it is like out of my hands right now, which is a little frustrating. So it's kind of dependent on stuff like that. So for me, I'm hoping end of the summer. It would be amazing if it were sooner though. So we'll hope. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bummer, but it's been a lot of setbacks, so kind of just going with it.
Yeah. Well, and again, the world's on fire, so.
A little bit, and it has been for a while now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Interesting time to be alive.
now.
Hello to anybody who's just jumping in. We're hanging out with Sarah Cooper of the American Snallygaster Museum and the
Okay,
Manic Pixie Dream Ghouls.
cosplay as Roosevelt. I would die. Can you imagine?
I think Caleb would make an excellent Roosevelt.
I'm very much about this. Yes, I think we need to discuss. My neighbors will probably not like it, but then they don't like America and they can hit the road. But
Yeah, who doesn't like Roosevelt other than like I don't know,
probably
commies?
probably a lot of people. He's probably problematic, and I didn't pay attention in history class, if we're being told.
Yeah. He's the only president that wrote about Bigfoot, so
Thank you. And tried to hunt the Snallygaster.
and tried to hunt the Snallygaster. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm curious. I want to ask you a question about Manic Pixie Dream Ghouls, but I don't want to go too far down that road because you guys are all coming back together on the 21st, which I'm very excited about. But I have a hypothetical scenario for you, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. So all three of you somehow, you and Heather and Kenzie, get like superpowers or robot suits or magic swords like, Lord of the Rings or some shit. I don't know. But you become like a superhero team. The three of you. What are your superpowers and or superhero names?
Well, this is easy. Like, I don't even, it's gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, because that's our slogan. So if the one who gets gaslight powers can like convince anybody of any lie that they want to tell, which would obviously be me. Um, Gatekeep powers, it's like you can keep people from knowing something or from like being involved in something. Like you can just be like, and you like stop them. And I think that's going to be Kenzie. Um, Heather would definitely be girl boss. Because despite the fact that it would seem that Heather is often the most unhinged of us, I feel like they are kind of running the show. Oh, wait, Kenzie says she's girl boss. Okay. No, actually, Heather might be gatekeep because Heather is a therapist and is like in charge of all gatekeeping. So
Of
but we'll discuss it, all three of us. I did get us all matching bracelets that said Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girl Boss, and lighter covers. It's pretty embarrassing. Um,
No, I love that.
those slogans on them because I have zero self-control.
I think that's amazing. No, I love it.
Bought a Heaven's Gate spoof shirt that says Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girl Boss that I have not busted out yet, but I will be wearing it to events. I'm so excited.
Is that going to be for sale? Because I would purchase it. I'm just saying.
It's a company that makes them, but I just bought it and I bought it way too big because I wasn't paying attention. So I'm gonna have to like do some stuff with it, but it's so freaking cute. It's from like I think it's called Good Shirts or something on Instagram. I bought a bunch of their stuff.
Okay.
Really, really funny.
I love that.
Mm.
Absolutely love that. Let's see if we have any questions from the audience. A lot of comments.
About events, and yes, we will be doing a lot of events.
Yeah, what events can we catch you at this year? I usually save this for the end, but since it came up, hey, Jordan. Hey,
Nice.
buddy.
I'm still figuring out some stuff for Jersey Devil Fable Fest, but I'm 99% sure we'll be there. Maybe not vending, maybe just speaking, because I'm kind of stressed about a couple things going on right now. Um, but definitely Whitefield UFO put on by the coolest people ever, Mystic Novelty Company. We're very excited. So we're vending and we're sponsoring. Um, and then past that, I don't know what's going to come up in the summer. So I have that. And then I have Cryptid Bash, Van Meter Visitor Fest, Mothman Fest just to visit, and kind of whatever pops up in the fall. Definitely Cryptid Con and Cryptid Bash. Like we've talked about that. Those are the big
Hmm.
for us. So we're super stoked about that. And I'll have some really cool new merch and some stuff that I'm working on. So very excited.
Heck yeah, dude. Your merch is always top tier. Like the Ave Mothmanus design.
Together. I need to get it. Well, so that was designed by Jonathan Dodd. He did a series of like satanic cryptid stuff for me, just kind of spoofing that Baphomet image, and those are super cute. I'm super excited to have some stuff from the artist that made this, Jeff. He does this really cool, like old school. I can't even properly show it. I'm gonna fall over. Snallygaster. It has a picture of me in the white on black print.
Oh, cool.
So I'm really excited to have his prints and shirts and stuff. Don't see Adam loves it's like so good. So I'm really excited to have his stuff because we've been working and negotiating on having his stuff, having rights to it and selling it at events and everything for a while. And we've come to an agreement. So I'm really stoked that we're going to be able to sell it and show off his stuff because he's so talented and I'm a huge fan. So I'm very excited to like be representing his stuff at events and having this sweet blanket and everything. I
That's
actually
fantastic.
I can't show you because I have a long sleeve shirt, but like the Snallygaster tattoo I got on here is like his drawing, with like a little bit of Americana style tattoo worked in. So I'm a little bit of a fan.
Very cool. A little bit, just a little bit.
Just like I got, his art tattooed on me before I ever met him, but like cool. Like I'm cool, don't worry.
Don't worry about it. It's good. Where's Jesse has a question. Is it just the idea of the cryptids and the stories behind them that interest you, or do you believe they're actually real? Hmm.
It's 50-50, right? Like there are some cryptids that I believe are real. Snallygaster, unfortunately, I do think is more folklore, and I'm more interested in like how that intersects with politics and culture and so many things about this area and about Maryland, even going into Pennsylvania hex magic stuff. So for me, that's like a deep study of culture and that type of thing. But I do think that a lot of cryptids are real and can't be explained. I think that the Fresno night crawlers are real. I have no explanation for what they are, and I never will, but I 100% believe that's a real video. So, it depends. I don't know. I think the Hodag, no offense, Hodag store, I do not think the Hodag is real. I think he's very similar to Snally. It's like a sensationalized thing. So, yeah.
Wasn't there like a Hodag traveling roadshow for a while, and like the guy would like go in the back and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get the Hodag," and then he'd make a bunch of noises, and then come back out and be like, "Can't bring the Hodag out today, folks. He's upset," or some shit like that.
So they did that here in Maryland. There were some dudes that got like an owl and they were like charging people to come look at the owl. It was incredible. And then there's the Jersey Devil hoax guy that got a kangaroo and stapled bat wings onto it, or sewed bat wings and like bear paws and took it to the Philadelphia Zoo or something. It was like, God,
Yes.
no, no, that.
No, not yes. Like that's a great idea, but yes, I've heard that. I've heard that story. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's put wings on animals.
We got a little excited. Sorry.
But yeah, Fresno Nightcrawlers, I'm 100% on board with that one. Nobody can figure out what the hell that is. Like,
I mean, so Adam just brought up, and I do kind of like the idea of them being like nature spirits or some kind of ultra terrestrial, something that just we couldn't really conceptualize, and that's
mhm.
what I find so much. But I would love to bite one of them,
To
like
bite,
not hard, just like a little. I just want to know what they like texture they feel like if they're like gummy or jelly or whatever.
they look like they could be made of taffy.
Yeah. Um, I don't think you were on the gosh, what is that app called where we do the talking? The Jeremiah
Clubhouse.
and
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. We did one where we analyzed which cryptids were kosher, and we were really arguing about the Fresno Nightcrawlers. So I'm not sure, but Snally's definitely not. Snally's like surf and turf. It's a no go. So we had a whole thing. I think we'll bring it back for Passover this year. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I remember. I think I was in there for a little bit, but because I remember the conversation, but I didn't say anything. Yeah.
That's silly. It got silly. That's all.
It was good. No, it's important material. Somebody has to talk about it. Nobody else is.
I'm doing the Lord's work.
Speaking of the Lord's work, the cult of beef.
Ugh, out of control. It's so out of control. So beef, let's let me just break down beef. And we actually should answer people's questions because we're being really
Oh yeah, sorry. I just have so many important
Can
questions to
you
ask you.
see me. I think Cryptid it was Cryptid Bash. And I had not really made this known, but like I have, my toddler, his nickname is Beef. I have no idea why. So I was like, Mr. Beef, come over here. And Kenzie like stopped in her tracks. She's like, did you just call your kid Beef? And I was like, yeah, that's his name. And then we drove around talking about beef all day. I think she tweeted Ingrid Cold's real name is Mr. Beef, and people were like, how did you find this out? Where did like as if it was so dumb, and I was like, tell them lies. So it got a little silly, and then once we got to everyone's beefing
Beef, beef, beef.
control, Dodd made like a mark of the beef temporary tattoo for me that we put on everybody at CryptoCon, but it's literally us screaming about a toddler. And I fear for him when we all like finally meet him, like everyone in one place, because it's gonna be like bowing down and just like, you've got to really like show him that he is the royalty. He is the beef. Beef
he
well.
might he might be convinced, like, if we're not careful about it, we might actually convince him that he's God.
I think that's true. We need to be careful because it's like, how do we know he's not? He's Mr. Beef. Like he's beefing. He's always beefing, and we have to just be very cognizant of that and let him know that he is in fact in charge of everything. Wait, hold on. Dodd said, I found the envelope of beef tats somehow. I'm so sorry, Jonathan.
I had a handful of them that we brought home, but I honestly don't know. Do you know what happened to them? The beef tattoos? Oh, she's got her headphones in. She's like 7 seconds behind me.
Um,
Um,
so there were a few things that got a little wild. Danner, the hunk sticker of Danner, I gave all of those to Heather. And number one, Danner is posted in several roadside bathrooms from their trip back up to New Hampshire. But like she still, sorry, I'm tired. They still find Danner stickers falling out of places everywhere. And their mom, I think, actually was like, what is this? Why? And I'm sure that Dodd has his stickers somewhere, and I hope that they are secured away from children's eyes.
I ended up with several Danner stickers. I think we have 3 or 4 of them.
I don't know.
Um,
I had so many of them because I thought I got like a certain number of everybody, but somehow I made like 1,000 Danners.
so he's just all over the
You know,
world now,
I have
literally.
fell in my trunk with everybody on it. Um, and I'm just like, someday I'm gonna get pulled over, and some policeman's gonna be like, "What is this?" And I have to explain it. Like it's too much, so I've just got to drive carefully.
Because the alternative is prison. I mean, okay.
Like you're a menace to society. Why did you make
Once they find that.
no explaining it?
No, dude, the cryptozoology hunks are, we still have the poster up in our living room. One of my favorite things.
Great poster. And I think that the like doing the autographs was so much fun for everybody because then you had to like talk to everybody. Risa, the Snally leg is not in my car. The Snally leg is in my home because I would not want to drive around with it and risk it getting hurt. Snally leg is precious to me. So Risa made me for my birthday this like huge, I mean like 3 foot tall emu leg. And she's a taxidermist, so you can see like the bone, all the layers of skin. You guys have seen it, and like the claws. It's my favorite thing. And then at Krampusnacht, she made me this. Okay, so part of the Snallygaster lore is that it has this call, like a train whistle. So she made me like a wooden, like those train whistles that kids play with, and she like
Yeah.
carved Teddy Roosevelt initials into it, like as if it were his, and made him it look super old. And I like lost my mind. It's so cool. I can't wait to have the museum is basically like my obsession with Risa and Jeff. That's what it has become. It's just gonna, these are my favorite people and all their stuff.
I'd seen that before, but I didn't know Risa had made it. That's super cool.
Yeah, Risa is incredible. She made the taxidermy Snally bird that I have, which was like my first big piece, and it's amazing. Like when you get to see it in person, it is so cool. I have a picture of Beef with it actually. When we first met, he was like the Risa thing, and she gave me a bezoar too. So it's like really fun. So yeah, we're very excited. I saw her typing that she's gonna have to make a Maryland beef worm, and I'm very stoked to see that. Imagine the horrors.
You've made the Snallygaster famous in, like 2.5 years. You could make the Maryland beefworm famous.
I think I could. I believe in my abilities. I would. I see that someone asked us about Goatman.
Oh yeah.
Maryland Goatman. I don't know if I believe it's real or not, but I also would be very scared to go to the Goatman Bridge and hang out. I would be really scared, like the Crybaby Bridge or what. I don't think I could do it. Because I don't want to meet a Goatman. Like, there's a lot of cryptids I want to meet, but that's like 0 out of 10 stars for me because he's just like violent and like,
Yeah. No,
no
I'm
thank.
with you on that one. Not
Uh,
so much him. Yeah, probably not so much like the original Chupacabra, the only Chupacabra.
Wait,
Uh,
Puerto Rico because we're about to fight.
huh?
The Texas Chupacabra or the Puerto Rican Chupacabra?
There is no Texas Chupacabra.
Wow.
Which is one of the questions I had for you. How do you feel about this whole Texas terror dog thing?
I don't know anything about Texas Terror Dog. Are you talking about how you renamed it? Or
Mm-hmm.
I've been not all there. I don't like it because my suggestion was to name it Beef and it's not named Beef, so
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
it's okay. It's fine. I just don't, I'm not going to support the Terror Dog. I think the Mississippi Lake Hound would rip the Terror Dog up if we had a dog fight.
Okay. You know what would be cool is there was this TV show called Jurassic Fight Club where they did CGI videos of different dinosaurs fighting each other. I think it was a documentary, but you could do one like that, but it could be cryptids.
I would go crazy. I would go crazy. I would actually like, I don't know, you're young, you're a child. Um, to me, because I'm very old. It's just all filler and Botox. So, um, I really saw the movie Death Becomes Her, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, Celebrity Deathmatch. Remember that show? Did you ever watch that animation?
Yes, the
Okay.
claymation show on MTV.
If
Yes.
you do Cryptid's Celebrity Deathmatch, I would be super into that too. Because you could get more like gooey with it.
Yeah. Do we know anyone that does claymation?
I'm sure somebody we know does claymation and they need to contact us immediately.
Yeah, because
I,
we just came up with a TV show idea. So if anybody does claymation, reach out to Sarah, reach out to myself. We have some things to talk about.
um, let's just say that we're making the show. Who's going to be our pilot episode? Who's fighting?
So I feel like it would be really obvious to do like Bigfoot and Mothman, but I'd like to do like, yeah, I'd like to do like a hard left turn and do like, I don't know, the hairy attacker, which is something else I wanted to run across you today. And then like the Flatwoods monster, maybe. I don't know.
So I just don't think the Flatwoods monster would fight. I feel like she would just be like, zip. I would like to see Loveland Frogman versus Kelly Hopkinsville Goblins.
Yeah, because that seems fair. Like
It
when
seems
you think about their
by,
descriptions.
by size and everything, I think it would be a fair fight. And Frogman can't use the magic wand.
Yeah, it's like fist to fist, right? Or
Yeah,
claw to.
it's a gentleman's fight.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Mhm.
This is one I ran into recently. It's from a book about alien encounters, but the name is just the hairy attacker, and it's this like little Ewok koala bear
It looks like
thing.
it looks like the things that Kenzie and I talked about that I can't remember the name of in New Hampshire, the little guys. And one of them looked like Tim Allen.
Oh, I can't remember.
What are they called? The little puckwudgies.
Puckwudgies, yeah.
But tell me about him. Where's he from?
So this was an encounter from November 28th, 1954, Caracas, Venezuela.
Hmm.
And the story is basically that these guys saw this like glowing object floating about 10 feet off the ground. And they went to look at it, and these little, short bear monkey guys came out and like attacked them, and like were trying to abduct them or something. And so one of them, Mr. Gonzalez, pulls out a knife and he like stabs at the thing. Uh,
Such
but
a
it like
very big escalation, Mr. Gonzalez.
right from a UFO to a knife fight.
Yeah.
Um, but apparently these creatures had retractable claws. And when he stabbed it with the knife, it bounced off of it as if it were made of metal, which makes me think of the Hopkinsville goblins.
Yeah, or like the Mapinguari, which David Huggins, I was about to say it, Risa. The Mapinguari that you could shoot them and like the bullets ricochet off. So I'm getting like a lot of like different weird cryptid vibes. But I'm gonna interrupt and say that David Huggins did see those little hairy guys. And I'm not gonna elaborate on David Huggins because there are little ears listening, but he did, and he would never lie.
David Huggins is a very interesting character. Yeah, we won't go too deep down that hole, but
Yes.
yeah,
He would
David
never
Huggins is a guy.
lie. I mean, come on.
Why would he ever?
So I think those are. I have never heard the retractable claws thing. That's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Like cat claws, marine claws.
The description from this book, and this is Faces of the Visitors from 1997. The creatures were described as about 3 feet tall and covered with stiff, bristly hair. They appeared to be extremely light, weighing as little as 35 pounds. That's a very arbitrary number, I feel like. The hands had retractable claws. The bodies were extremely hard. That's the whole description.
Interesting. So could it have been like a suit that like an alien was inside of it? Because
Ooh.
like you know what I mean? Like maybe they want like did the hair was it fuzzy hair? Was it like metallic hair? Was it just painted on?
Man, it doesn't say. This is literally the entire
So
story.
give me more details, you guys.
That's
So
it, yeah.
I a suit and it was like an animatronic with like hair, like like a I don't know, Chuck E. Cheesy kind of guy. But now did you listen to the Kryptonaut episode where they talked about the puppet people?
I have
Because
not heard that one.
you really need to listen to it because I cannot stop thinking about it. It's so disturbing. And there's that kind of sounds like the puppet people a little bit, but they're more animal-like than the puppet people are. So I'm very upset about the puppet. I wish they hadn't put that out because now I'm upset, but everyone has to hear it now. It's like so good. It's terrifying.
I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Yeah.
Kenzie says that shit was creepy, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
Like I had to stop because I was listening to it by myself while I was getting ready, and I turned it off because I was getting so scared that I would be a puppet person. Like that's how good it is. Ugh.
Ugh, that's creeping me out, and I haven't even heard it.
Yeah, no, it's a hard pass. I don't like that we went immediately to stabbing the cryptid alien, but I also on Instagram Live did try to like roundhouse kick an alien, what I thought was an alien, and turned out to be a statue of an angel in someone's yard. We
So
all
yeah, when your fight or flight kicks in, you
we
know,
have fight.
yeah, like if I also don't agree with immediately stabbing the strange creature, but like, if something with retractable claws attacks me in the dark and I had a knife, I guess I could see that.
How big are these claws though? Because if it's like cat claws, like that's
Um,
it's Wolverine claws.
it really doesn't say if they were like, yeah, that's a really good question. Were they like Wolverine style claws, or were they like just little fingernails?
I can you hold on 1 second? Uh,
Yeah.
Someone is knocking on the door, and I don't know why. Um, I think I might have to cut this off. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, you're amazing. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank you.
jumping on.
Love you.
I'll
Okay,
tag you in
bye.
all the stuff. Bye.
Bye.
All righty. Well, the only reason I'm sad is that Sarah is super fun to hang out with, and I could talk to her for hours. But thank you guys all so much for jumping on. This was so much fun. We are taking a break because our wedding anniversary is on Monday, and I just don't want to do anything for a while. So we'll be back in what, 10 days? 10 days, and I have two amazing guests coming up. Christian Moore, comedian extraordinaire, and Dassos Croson, maker of things. And then after that, we have the Manic Pixie Dream Ghouls. So Sarah will be back, and then Jeremiah Byron. And then, do you guys want to know who we have for April? Does anyone want to know? I haven't announced it publicly yet, but it's a big deal. If one person says yes, I'm going to tell you. If nobody says anything, I'll probably tell you anyway because I'm really excited. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Jeff Foran of Strangeology has confirmed an interview with us on Strange Conversations for April. Cassie, yay, Strange Marriages. It's probably not going to happen, I'll be honest. But also, author, investigator, researcher, world traveler, Renaissance man of the paranormal, David Weatherly. David Weatherly. And I have been emailing, and we've confirmed a date. So it's looking like April 11th. David Weatherly will be on here. So other people coming up for April as well, hopefully. But Jonathan says, "Holy shit, Jeff! I can't wait." Yeah, like that's what everyone's been waiting for is Jeff. So yes, our very good friend Jeff of Strangeology and author, researcher, etc., David Weatherly will be on in April. And then there's some other maybes, but those aren't for sure yet. So, okay, good night. You're all the best. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Thank you.